How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Joe the Geek. Welcome back to another Let's Talk Toys. And we've got the main crew here tonight. Look at this panel of individual. Ben, what have you done? Ben, why are you in my room, Ben?
Why are you in my room wearing my clothes,
that.
Peter?
That's quite freaky, Ben. That's quite, yeah.
Oh, so I mean, YouTube. Yeah.
Hello, YouTube.
That's
my best friend. Anyway, chaps, how is everybody? It's lovely to see everyone. We'll start with you, James T. of the Keegan. How are you, sir?
Heyo, what's up?
Heyo, heyo. Are you well?
I'm very good, man. I missed you. It's been like over a week. But it felt like longer. It felt like years, decades. Terrible.
Ben, have you missed us, Ben? Have you been pining like James?
It's been longer than it's actually been that amount of time for me, I think, since I was on this show. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back and getting back into it. And I know Simon's been keeping my chair warm, so I'm back now, Simon. So you can leave.
No,
no need for you to be here anymore.
There's still an anime segment to do.
Oh, I mean, I have to tell you, Ben, things have changed since the last time you were on the show because. And I'm not quite sure how this happened, and the guys will have to back us up, but somehow Simon has become like the main draw for this show. Everybody comes for Simon. They don't come for us.
Well, they come for Simonisms, which is things
that's true.
Simonism.
Yeah.
It's like Carl Pilkington, like Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington. Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's lovely to have you back, Ben. And I mean, it is nice to have you back, but you've chosen to lead your own topic, which I'm not overly happy with, but we'll talk about that later on. Fucking Lego. Anyway, Luke, how are you, sir?
In all honesty, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable. After you and John attacked me viciously yesterday on that stream.
You shouldn't be such a prick.
Yeah, got no leg to stand on. No, yeah, I'm good. In all honesty, I'm good. Always happy to be here. Always, this is one of my favorite shows that we do.
Yeah, it's always fun. Always nice to see you, bud. And always nice to. Oh, Simon.
What was that R for?
You should know.
Yeah, you should know by now. How are you, Simon? Are you well?
I'm good. I'm wearing my new X-Men t-shirt. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
X-Men 97. When did it actually come out? Does anyone know yet?
Next year.
That's when it came out.
I'm just wearing the t-shirt.
I've no idea, mate. I don't know. I'm not sure when the new one's coming out. Don't know.
Oh.
Nice to see you, but Simon. Okay, guys. Before we get on with the show and before we talk to the guys in the chat, I just want to do some shameless plugs for my channel. So just sit and enjoy for a few moments. Moan about monetization misery. Jesus, that's my video about my fail with the monetization process of YouTube. Please go check that out. Superb clickbait. Why I sold my entire collection. Go and check that video out. Put that out yesterday. It's doing quite well for my channel. And I think I've got about 300 views, which for me is great. So please do go check that one out. I had a bit of a moan about Deadpool #3, not about the movie itself, because I am absolutely looking forward to that, just about the daily kind of spoilers that are coming out. So again, go check that out if you wish. I did a good show with my pal Chris from Off My Shelves, talking about absolute format hardback books, and that was great fun. Hoping to do some more stuff with Chris because it was a good laugh. He's a lovely guy. I did my recommended reading for the month of October with Efren, our friend Efren. So that was looking at some of the books that are coming out in October. Some excellent content coming out, actually some great reads. So please do check that out. And then I've done 2 This Is Mice. We did Jason Parker, which was just Jason Parker. It was madness, absolute madness. Amanda came in and took over the show for a good 10-15 minutes, and I interviewed her instead of Jason, which was great. So yeah, lovely show, brilliant pair, those two. So please do check their channel out. And I had a night with John last night. John from John's Comics with Kids, who's an absolute gentleman, absolutely lovely bloke. I had a real fun conversation with him. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? No, Wednesday, we've got the first of my 2-part CGC Keys unboxing. I've sent off 17 kind of minor key books, first appearances. So first video out on Wednesday looking at some of those books. And a shout out as ever to the UK YouTube community. So please do go check out those guys. Okay, let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got 19 people watching. Thank you very much. Please do go and make sure you hit up and subscribe to James T. Keegan, Attention Seeking Geek, Hydra Collectibles, and Comic Lad Simon's YouTube channels, please. Always fantastic content. And all of the guys have got some great videos out at the moment, so do check those out. Okay, we've got good old StreamYard. Thank you for joining. We've got GP Venom. Always a pleasure, Pierre. Thank you for joining, mate. We've got my pal Deadman. Again, always nice to see you, my friend. We've got Six Scale Padawan. Thank you very much for joining, Keith. Who else we've got? We've got Sean. Thank you for joining, Sean. Always nice to see you. And we've got Shiny. Ben threw his King Shark figure at an innocent Chinese. Harsh. Yeah, harsh. And we've got good old Ian Carter. Thank you for joining, Ian. And we've got Kenneth. Thank you for joining, Kenneth. Who else we've got? Oh, lots of people in the chat. We've got Phil from Phil's Nerdiverse. Phil, have any of your 1/6 figures arrived yet? You'll have to let one know in the comment. I know you've got Aragon on order, but I can't remember. Did you get the Terminator? I think you did. You got a third-party Terminator figure. Let one know in the comments and what he was like. And we've got good old Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Look at all these experts and Simon. Yeah. We've got GPBs, and we've got Andy from Perpetual. See, even Simon's on week made. Simon, we're gonna have to get some kind of like fan club badges or something made for you. You know what I mean?
For Thought Bubble, yeah.
A Thought Bubble, yeah. Dear God, can you imagine? Okay, guys, here to talk toys. Ben, it's slightly different from the last time you were on the show. Instead of doing kind of one big section each, we've spread it out, so we can spread basically Simon's hilarity throughout the entire show instead of just at one section.
Good idea.
Phil, Terminator 2 arrived, yes.
Oh, nice.
Still in the box, scared to open it. And that's what toys are for, Phil. Sitting in the box, never to be looked at. Well done.
Get it out, man.
Get them open and send a picture.
As bad as Andy. Just, you know.
Andy took months to open his Spider-Man, didn't he?
Whack it out, boys. Don't be afraid. Come on.
Yeah, there you are. On the internet, Ben's telling you to crack one out. Lovely. Yeah. Okay, Simon.
Hey, I wanted this slide last.
What kind of noise was that? I do apologise, Simon. I haven't got your slides in order. That's my fault.
Oh, never mind. So, I wanted to. This is a talking point. Really.
We're off the rails already. We're literally 10 seconds into the first
I don't think we talked about the Grimlock robot.
No, we've talked about 4 different shows, mate. But yeah, hang on.
Yeah, but we didn't talk on the last toy show from San Diego.
We didn't. That is right. We didn't talk on the last one.
So I thought I put it in here purely because I wanted to ask people what is, like, you guys obviously buy 1/6 scale. I think the Grimlock's about £1,000.
It's more than that. It's 1,200, I think. Or 1,000. I can't remember. On the last show showed on, I think it was 1,399. Something like that.
Is that something you guys would push for something like this? I mean, it's so cool. Like, do you think this is the future of toys? That, you know, transforming robots like this.
Simon, off to a good start with a discussion topic. Well done, you, Simon. I'll come to the rest of the guys in a minute.
Whose fucking show is this?
Honestly, he's on the. You get a little bit of praise in the comments.
All he's doing is passing it off to us.
But he doesn't have to talk anymore.
Don't be
clever,
fooled.
actually.
What do you think? It's like a politician.
Simon, in answer to your question, it's far too expensive for my money. That
Okay.
I think, and I was very keen on the Optimus Prime because you'll know, Simon, they did an Optimus Prime first, yes.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I know they did.
Yeah, the Prime was very cool. He went down in price to around about £600, but I think I was hovering on the buy it button, and I'm sure it was Ben who might have messaged us. I can't remember, but basically the gimmick will wear off. There's only so many times you can transform it and go, "Woo, look at that." So no, I think it's a bit rich for my money. How about you, James? We'll start with you, mate.
Nah, okay. They're not giving a shit.
Very talkative, James.
Yeah.
Very.
No, it transforms cool, I guess. But like you said, like you're gonna do it once and then never to like leave it in whatever position you have it in. So why pay that much extra for it?
Yeah. How about you, Ben?
I mean, the price they're going for, you're going for a very specific type of collector, which is usually older people with disposable income and stuff, and those are the sort of people that aren't going to be transforming it every day because they're not children. So exactly what you said, Peter. The gimmick will wear off, and the price doesn't kind of correlate to the item without the gimmick. So because of that, it's most definitely not the future of collecting, Simon, I would say.
Okay.
And I think from memory, when Prime first came out, I got very excited, and that was around about the £1,000 mark. And like I say, it's down to about 500, 600 now, so it's crashed really in terms of value, I think. Luke, what about yourself? Is something that would interest you?
So yeah, the price is the big no-no for me. But if I had this item, I don't know if it's possible, and I'm certainly not the person to go into how it might or may not work, but I would find a way to rig it so that when you turn on your light, maybe it would then transform. Do you know what I mean? So you're getting more use out of it each time if it's a feature for the room. Because if you're really into Transformers and you have a Transformers room or a home cinema or something, at least if you push a button or do something that you would do regularly, like each day, have it transform or do something different, then I think that's kind of cool. If it's like voice activated by Alexa or anything similar, that would be kind of cool also. That's the only way that you would get the most out of it without the gimmick wearing thin. The only other problem that I have is that Simon approached this by saying 1/6 scale, and it's not 1/6 scale, is it? Because the robots are a hell of a lot bigger than anything else. So that would bother me as well, because it wouldn't line up unless you displayed it with smaller figures. Then it wouldn't line up.
Yeah, and that's the issue with the Transformer figures at the moment. They're not true 1/6 scale, but they look all right if you stack them together. Phil's making a good point there. Scary Money is a one-off, no problem, but people have insane collections, and it never stops with one. I always worry about people putting themselves in debt and danger for toys, which is a beautiful link, really, to suggest you go check out Ben's recent video, which is pretty much on that topic in itself. Yeah. I know a Transformer once, and it would absolutely, mate. That's my fear as well. That's my fear. You snap something off it, or knowing me, I'll be playing with it in the bath, or someone can drop it. It's not what I'd be doing. Simon, I can't help but notice that you started off, and then I've literally done all the talking for you. Was that your intent, or was that?
This was my talking point slide, so that's what the question I wanted for. On the right, this is something different. So this is called Emo, and it's an AI desktop robot pet. And I am toying in thinking of getting this. It ranges around the £350 to £400 mark.
You're insane.
Yeah.
I am insane, but I don't know why. I've seen this thing in action. I actually want. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
We have these. They're called Tamagotchis, aren't they? Like this. What's this thing do like that?
This is better than a Tamagotchi. This is like your like Wally sort of desktop pet. It like talks to you, interacts with you. The AI is getting better and better. And I'm thinking this is what I'm on about. This is maybe the future of toys. AI toys, possibly. What's your thoughts?
But it's got a camera. Is it a webcam?
No, it's got a camera so it can see you, so it can interact with you, so it recognizes you personally and your voice and tone and everything. So.
Interesting stuff. Simon, I'm just curious. We've been doing this show together now for 6 months, as a group, and we've all got distinct sections. And just remind us, your section that you're supposed to research and sort out is anime and Star Wars. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of.
What the fuck's this?
Well, he also
when
does
he's anime, he thought you meant AI, Peter.
He also does.
Oh,
he also does Marvel Legends because he wants to rope in the whole of Hasbro.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, Simon. I like it, mate. GP saying it blinks at you, I think.
Oh, 350 easy then.
Yeah.
You know what, Fuzzy? As someone who previously was known as an emo, I feel attacked by that comment, and I'm going to go and listen to My Chemical Romance to make myself feel better about it.
Oh, Simon.
Check it out on YouTube.
You're turning on you,
what
Simon.
You're turning on you, Simon. You're
One
turning on
slide
you.
and you ruined your reputation.
Lost his one fan.
Okay. So this is from me. This is from Star Ace. So Star Ace are a 1/6 scale company who produce dodgy figures. I think it's fair to say they get good licenses, but the figures are quite often dog shit, particularly the face sculpts. And they announced recently with that image on the bottom there, an image of Mr. Stay Puft, Slimer, and what are the name of the dogs? I can't remember.
Terror Dog.
To the Terror Dogs, which was quite exciting. And then they've showed some images of the Stay Puft figure, which I really, really like. If you get this quality when it comes out, because quite often they show you some superb promotional images and then the actual figures themselves don't look as good. But my big issue with this is kind of what Luke was saying before about the Transformer scaling. This is 30 centimeters. This isn't going to scale with any of your 1/6 scale figures, is it? It's not going to look right with the Ghostbusters I'm about to get, is it?
I would argue that it wouldn't even look right with your 6-inch figures. It's too small for that. It's just not.
Sometimes though, things could be nice on their own.
Yeah, and James is exactly right. I think, you know,
like Simon.
Oh,
wow. Wow. Jesus. I would definitely be tempted to pick this up as a standalone piece. You know, you give it an individual sort of display case, you have it as a desk buddy. You know, I definitely think it's one that you kind of display like that rather than, you know, putting it with 12-inch or 6-inch figures. I'm nervous about this, Peter, because as you mentioned there, Star Ace have I'm going to say one of the worst reputations within the 1/6 scale community, I think, that any company has. And it's weird that they still manage to acquire these licenses kind of.
They do the boys
officially.
ones, don't they? The terrible. Yeah.
And they did the old Harry Potter ones, and some of those are laughable as well. And just not great stuff. But this looks incredible. The one thing I would say is this deluxe head sculpt, the one with the cross eyes there, that's not actually a face that Stay Puft ever makes. That is actually a face that a Mini Puft makes. That looks like it's ripped from one of the Mini Puft sculpts. So yeah, do your research. But I think this looks fantastic, and if it comes out as it looks, then I'm definitely tempted to sort of pick it up. I'm tempted to pick it up and like just leave it in the box and bring it out when the time is right, sort of thing. Because I just think it looks like it could be a special piece. So
it does look. You know, I'm with you, Ben. I am with you, but I don't know. As you know, I'm picking up the 1/6 scale Ghostbuster figures if they get released, and I don't know. I would feel very weird having the 4 of them on one shelf and then a Stay Puft somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't. I'm interested to see what the Slimer looks like and to see whether that would scale.
I forgot to tell you, by the way, the dude I sold to is selling a Blitzway set of Ghostbusters.
Is he?
If you're interested.
And
he's around the corner from you as well.
Yeah, he's just down the road, not far at all.
Unboxed, but
interesting. Yeah, cool figure, but I'm not sure it's the one I'll be picking up. James, talk to her about some gamey things.
Sorry. There's been a bit of a shitstorm lately. This is sort of the newest in the line of Rockstar throwing goodwill like away, like all that they built over the last few years. So Rockstar is the company that does Grand Theft Auto. They have made like they re-released Red Dead Redemption for the first one for the Switch and PS4, and it's not like an upgrade in any way. It's not a remaster. It's just the game that came out 13 years ago on those consoles, and it's $50.
Okay.
So people are like stunned at the gall of them for like charging so much when they've not made any improvements to it. And I think it's like, I'm happy that it's available on those consoles now. Like it's been kind of locked on the PS3 for PlayStation users for so long. But like, I am my fuck paying 50 quid for a 13-year-old game. You can go into CEX and get it for £4.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some of the kind of wording they've used for like commercially accurate, like fuck you, we're too big, you'll pay it, so we'll just put it out for that. I don't know, that was kind of shitty of them.
Commercially accurate. I love that.
Yeah, I know. yeah.
It's a game that I've heard an awful lot about, but I've never actually played. But it's
one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, like that
James,
original one. Yeah.
Can I ask why would you want to go back to Red Dead 1 when Red Dead 2's out?
Have you ever watched a movie more than once, Simon?
Yeah, but still, games are different. Like the
How
only
so?
game I ever went back to was GoldenEye and Zelda.
Okay, so this is my GoldenEye and Zelda. Simon.
So,
okay.
I sometimes
Got a
play
live
games
one.
more than once. Yeah.
Still says it deserves a remaster.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought because the Red Dead 2 has like the entire map of the first one, so I thought they literally cut the new part off, and with those graphics, just tell that first game again, and they took the lazy route.
So as you guys know, I'm no gamer, but I don't see a problem with this. The reason
It's
why,
fifth- Go on.
the reason why, just because if say we're talking toys, right, and we've seen like Ben's recently purchased like the Kenner Ghostbusters toys that were the same models and stuff, just on a retro card. Now, obviously, you could buy, say, your He-Man toys where they have been updated. They've got additional joints with the Origins line, but they are updated versions. So that's kind of like your remaster. However, Ben would have still gone out and paid the same 20 or 30 quid that it would have been, adjusted for inflation back in the day. So them re-releasing an older game for a newer console so players can still either go back and play it or play that original, it might not appeal to the mass market, but I can still kind of see how that works because you're still bringing it forward. Do you get what I mean?
It's just the pricing is quite egregious in comparison to what other companies do. So like usually this would be the price of a remaster where they have tweaked the graphics and updated them slightly, or it's a higher frame rate or things like that. Like a straight up port should just be like 20 quid. You can get like some of the PS2 games for like 10 to 15 on the PlayStation Store. Sometimes they're a $5. So like I'll get this when it's like 15, 20 quid on sale,
I think the thing for me is, like you say, James, you can walk into Checks and pick this up for pennies, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's strange as well because like it never came to PC and they didn't put a PC version, so people are upset about that as well. And then they haven't re-released on Xbox because with backwards compatibility on Xbox, you can just play it like an Xbox 360 version, which again you'll get for 2 quid in the shops. And there's no difference.
But I think that's what they're tapping into is people who can't be asked to go to the shop, and that's a lot of people these days. People just want everything, ready to stream
sent to them.
So that and you're right. I think the price is probably too much, but it will probably adjust itself because people won't get it, and they'll be like, oh shit, well we need to sell some of it,
Yes, interesting stuff.
Fuzzy wants to know what it is.
Red Dead. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but an old Western kind of setting. It's by the company that makes Grand Theft Auto.
Luke, you're up.
This is shit, isn't it? No. I am a NECA fanboy, particularly the animated Turtles line, and I have bought almost every release that they've ever done. This is a shoebox with some thrown in accessories, and they want over $300 plus shipping. I mean, $60 shipping just in the US, let alone getting it over here. Now, I've made several videos on my channel about dioramas that my wife and I have repainted and done up, and I've been using those for my display. But also the customizers out there, I buy from Badger Diorama all the time, and if I paid her £300, my God, it would be the size of these units behind me. Like, it would be so much better than what NECA is offering. I think this is a real slap in the face to all the collectors that have been buying since 2017. I think this is bang out of order, and this is part 1 of a 3-part set, and it's shocking for that price, if you ask me. I will ask what you guys think about it, because if I'm out of order, by all means, please say so. But they don't even give you the TV; you had to buy that in the accessory set.
This is not something I would personally pick up. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh,
It's I was gonna come up with a joke, but the timing's gone now, so it's like no, it looks
fancy mic. You never fucking turn it on, do you?
This is the first time. You do it once and it never stops. Then yeah, no, for 300 quid looks atrocious. Like this is so basic and literally the size of a shoebox is no, I wouldn't go paying that.
I agree. The price is ridiculous. Like it doesn't constitute what is physically there. But I will come to its defense a little bit. I think I know you gave Badger Dye as an example. I've owned one of her pieces before and it's absolutely incredible. She charges like 60, 70 quid,
Yeah.
But the difference is, those are homemade. It's like a craft sort of foam type material, isn't it, that she uses and stuff, and this will be hard, plastic. It will be
but
robust.
By that logic, like the Street View diorama that they've released a couple of times was only 120 quid, and that supposedly sits on top of this.
And I think if this came in at 120, then we probably wouldn't even be having this discussion. I think it would be celebrated a lot more.
For 120, I would have bought 3 of them.
Okay.
Because I would have joined them together. I would have made my own sets out of them. But the 300 plus price point is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is too much. And I think, and again, speaking about Red Dead and people just not buying it and then the market kind of correcting itself, I think this will be a prime example of that. I think you will see this on eBay for 200 quid, within months, I would say, from its release, because people would have pre-ordered it and then they'll fucking have it and be like, what am I doing? So yeah, but it's clean, and it really matches up with the aesthetic of the figures and stuff. And I do think this is going to look really, really kind of crisp for figure photography and stuff like that. But yeah, it's far too much. I agree with you on that front.
What do you think, Simon?
It looks rubbish. I think you needed, like you said, you needed a TV or pizza in it. It's just simple. So
yeah, just jump into the comments, guys. I don't think there's a lot of love for it in the comments. I'd put
that's a great idea.
That's a tremendous idea. Yeah. Doesn't even come with shoes. Absolutely not. It's reflecting the current upsurge of interest in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. After all their business and thinking they owe loyalty to price fairly is never going to end well, as they are there for your money. Yeah, sadly. For the man who has everything, something he doesn't have. Shock horror.
No, people are misunderstanding this whole thing, right? I have everything that I've ever wanted, everything that I owned as a child. There'll be new releases, there'll be new things. Like people are getting totally the wrong idea. But no, this is bad in my opinion. I wish it was cheaper. If it was cheaper, I can justify it. Can't justify that price.
Yeah,
for three walls that you could 3D print. Like I just can't.
Yeah. Hi, Jack. Thanks for joining me. Okay. Ben, unfortunately, one of your slides hasn't loaded. That should be it there. So I'm trying to get it on screen. So whilst I'm doing that, Simon, if you just want to talk about this.
I'm not coming on for a couple of months again.
So, guys, I mentioned this, obviously, on the last show, San Diego. It has now passed its point. So it's done all of its funding. It's £500. This is the Ghost for Hasbro, the vintage collection. They've also releasing 4 figures with it at the moment, so which is really cool. So the more backers it gets, the more figures they're going to be releasing out with it. So yeah, really happy about this. What's everyone's thoughts on this?
This is an absolute home run from Hasbro. I think they priced it appropriately and really kind of hit the sweet spot, I think, for collectors. And we've just been speaking about a shoebox for £300. This is bigger than a shoebox, so already you sort of feel like you're getting your worth. I think this ship is held dear by a lot of kind of Star Wars fans out there. It's weird. I think a lot of original trilogy fans are quite drawn to Rebels, and a lot of the stuff that comes with it. So I think it's kind of it's appealing to multiple kind of generations of Star Wars fans. I think the add-ons are just it makes perfect sense, you know, to kind of give us a crew member every time they hit the kind of you know, the next stage. Playability of this thing, you know, having the Phantom being able to kind of come out and sort of go on side missions and stuff like that. I think, you know, there's certain liberties that like the dorms and stuff aren't necessarily to scale, and there's bits of the ship that are kind of missing that are there. Although saying that, this technically is the ship from Ahsoka, so we don't necessarily know what that ship looks like and what the kind of changes have been since the show. So, but yeah, I just think it's I just think they've really kind of hit the nail on the head with this release, and the numbers have spoken to that. Like it pretty much hit target within the week, I think.
Yeah.
And now it's just, I think it's at 18. Let me just have a look now. I'm on it now. 10,000 backers at the moment. The target was 8, so it's doing really well. It's got 16 days left still. So yeah.
Anyone else?
I think everything that Ben said is absolutely true. This is how you do it properly. You know, the Mattel creations with Jurassic Park was shocking.
Oh,
this is 10 times better than that. This looks great. Unfortunately, it's not something that I would pick up myself. I don't need any more Star Wars stuff, but if I did, this would definitely be up there. This would be something that I would go for.
How about you, James? There's something for you?
I love it. Looking at it, I've just been moved away from smaller scale figures, so I won't be picking it up. But I think like if you're a vintage collector or a Rebels fan or anything, it's a really stunning piece.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So speaking of Transformers earlier, this is the 3-0 DLX Optimus Primal. This is not 1/6 scale, it's the DLX scale, which is exactly as you were just talking about before. Luke, really, these Transformer die-cast figures don't scale in reality, but they look pretty cool if you have them kind of set off by themselves. I was a big fan of the Rise of the Beasts movie. Ben, you've seen it now, haven't you? Did you catch up? Yeah, enjoy that one?
Loved it. Yeah, had a really good time with it. Yeah, it was great. I kind of got no, you know, it's kind of dumb, isn't it? Like, in parts, but like it's a Transformers film, and it kind of it did what was required. And the thing that like baffles me a bit from that film is that like they haven't. I know we're speaking about scale, like it's almost impossible to do a to scale Transformer because it'd be the size of a Detolf, you know, like, but how have they not made him yet? You know what I mean? Old Matey Boy, like, because that feels like it would just sell itself. Like,
Mate who? Sorry?
Matey Boy. I forgot his name. I
don't know what you're saying. What you're saying?
Matey Boy is like, if you're like, no, mate, Luke, help me out here. Stevenage, Matey Boy. Like,
I have.
If you don't know
no idea what you're talking about, mate. Sorry.
Matey Boy. That's a good Transformer.
Fucking help me out in the chat, someone, please.
You mean Unicron? What do you mean?
No, I fucking don't mean Unicron.
The human protagonist of this movie.
Right, slang, okay, or just the terminology when you don't know someone's name is Matey Boy sometimes, all right?
Okay.
I forgot the dude's name, but the dude.
Okay. What dude? The dude from this movie, the main guy.
Dude that puts
Anthony
on
Ramos.
the watch and becomes the bloody Iron. Whatever it was.
Anthony Ramos's character.
Yes, Anthony
okay.
Ramos.
I'm with you now, Ben. Ben, I am with you 100% now. That would be a very cool figure. Yeah, it would be very cool. Yeah. Wow. Optimus Primal. I have to say, this one doesn't do much for us. I think it looks very bland.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not singing to us, I have to say. I do love the DLX line. I do love the Ben, you've totally lost everybody in the comments as well. Talking about Transformers. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, Mephisto. Fuzzy's suggesting. No, mate, that was
Googling this shit now. Matey Boy. I haven't made this up.
So yeah, I'll not be picking this one up. I don't think. I think this one's going to pass me by. Unfortunately, when they do a RC from Rise of the Beasts. I will probably be picking that one up, I think, because I think she's a stunning design. What are we looking at?
Urban Dictionary, because that's the only dictionary I use. When speaking and you don't know someone's name in a sentence, you use matey or matey boy instead. I.e., I spoke to what's his name, matey boy earlier.
Matey boy.
Meaty boy.
What's his name fills that like purpose. So why would you add matey boy onto it?
Moving on. We're back to you, James. We're back to you, mate. As I'm still trying to get Ben's other slide to show. It must be the Lego Ben. No one wants to see the
shit
Lego
one. Don't worry, like, because there were a couple of shit.
They were all shit, mate. They were all shit.
Oh, brilliant!
Wow.
Yeah, so there was a Street Fighter Ninja Turtles kind of crossover DLC pack for Street Fighter 6, and I initially seen the trailer. I thought it was like actually they were adding them as characters, but they're just costumes for the like other characters to wear, so you look like the Ninja Turtles. $15, just shocking. Like that's and people like I don't think anyone really at all bought it. Like
that'd be a cheat code back in the day.
Yeah,
exactly. Or just an unlockable, or a lot of the time they give more than this away for free. So like I've never heard of a skin pack really being
is that the same in recent times. I can't remember.
Mortal Kombat are new characters, so like you would pay usually $5 a character, and then there's a combat pack for 20 or something, and you're getting 4 or 5 characters with all their moves, costumes, and everything with that.
And who wears the skin if it's like Chun-Li and she's like really effeminate, and it's like Donatello, just like.
I'm not sure if it's locked to certain characters, so maybe just Ken and Ryu have like Leonardo and Raphael or something like that.
Makes no sense to me. I just think it's
the kids pay it on Fortnite.
Yeah, well, I suppose that is a good point, isn't it? Yeah, well done, Simon. Everybody has one. But yeah, no, it's just again, like another topic, like example of I think egregious pricing. So yeah, people are kind of up in a storm about that. Okay.
Destroy all humans?
I was waiting for somebody to introduce.
I was like, it's your slide, right?
And then, so we mentioned this on the Saturday show the other week, I think, but just to get Ben and Simon's thoughts on this one. But there's a Last Ronin game has been announced. It's the Destroy All Humans developers. So they mostly work with, they've only really done remakes for like open world games. So I think that's indicative. It might be an open world game, and I think like a futuristic New York setting would be pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Simon, is this one you'd be interested in?
I'd still need to read The Last Ronin, but definitely, once I've read it, I think it's something I pick up. If it's open world, I like my open world games. So.
Yeah, I can imagine it be very kind of Arkham-esque. It's cool setting, cool choice of story for it, I think.
I'm looking forward to this, James. I think this will be very, very cool. I think it sounds very, very enjoyable. Ben, I cannot get your other slide up, mate. It was something to do with butterflies or something.
Oh, the insect set, yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on. For fuck's sake. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I will come back to it. Luke.
I feel like this is sabotage.
I don't know what's going on.
Also, as well, can I just take the opportunity while I've got the mic to say fuck you, GP?
Who are you saying fuck you to?
GP, calling me middle class. I'm born and raised on a council estate, bitch. My dad's middle class, yes, all right, but he left me, so that's not the point, okay?
See what you've done.
Carry on.
See what you've done. Okay, carrying on. Luke, tell me about these. These look amazing, mate. I really do.
Yeah, so I saw the crocodile of this on AliExpress while I was shopping for turtle figures, as I often do. And I thought this looked really cool. And I thought it would make a great Leatherhead, who happens to be a character from Turtles anyway. But I noticed the price, and it is rather high, even on AliExpress. These are like 80, 90 odd pounds. So God knows what they are to buy anywhere else. But they've started. I've seen more and more of them crop up. Like there's a wolf one, there's a tiger one, and the thing is that all these accessories, all these joints and heads and stuff, it all comes apart. So you can have like a full standing werewolf just without all the crap on it. Do you know what I mean? Or you could have all the included stuff. This might be the future where I'm heading towards. I know that everyone keeps making the joke about how I've got everything. This is awesome. Like I like these, and I think that if anything was going to get me to want to buy more, it would be this sort of thing. Now, I don't care what they're from or what sort of show or film or whatever they're related to. I just think they look awesome as toys themselves, and I would love to have some on display. What do you guys think?
I think they look amazing. I think they look really, really cool. I'm intrigued by the designs. I mean, some of them look a bit like Batman Killer Croc, don't they? So I don't know what the kind of the side of them's from or where they're from, but yeah, it looks very cool.
Apparently, like a nice throwback to the, toys of old, the old Toy Biz ones with all the sort of detail, or the old McFarlane, like Movie Maniacs ones, where everything was kind of a lot more finely sculpted and kind of detailed and stuff like that. Luke, it surprised me you've never got into Mythic Legions.
Yeah, I have. I've got several of them. So
all right, okay.
Obviously, I got into that by a figure called Karawas, or I think that's how it's pronounced, and he's actually a Cringer / Battle Cat humanoid figure.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, because I love my Battle Cats, I purchased that. But I went straight down to that rabbit hole. But again, those are quite expensive too. Some of the big orcs and things, really expensive to get hold of. These things, like I say, they all come apart and you can put all the different limbs on. They come with multiple accessories, so you can swap and change them out. Apparently, according to these YouTube videos that I've seen reviewing them, it is quite scary to take them apart and then reassemble them. There's a lot of pieces that all go together. It's not just like pop the arm off. Like the arm is in like multiple pieces that you've got to slot back together. But they do look fantastic. They really do.
He looks like with the crocodile there and the sort of top right, or either one, to be fair, looks like it could be a great Leatherhead with your movie term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a movie interpretation of what Leatherhead would look like. Very cool.
And they all sort of look like Ninja Turtles, like side characters, aren't they? Which I'm
they're like humanoid mutants, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And
what scale are they, Luke?
I believe they're like a 7-inch scale. Like obviously they range depending. So the crocodile's a lot bigger than say the wolf, but then the tiger. So they're in scale. They're not all just one height. It's not like they're using the same base figure form to create them. They are all uniquely sculpted, but they all kind of sit around that 7 or 8 inch size at the moment. I don't know if they'll make other smaller animals to go along with them.
Do you think they're like with the tiger there? They have like a Wukong one, because I like Wukong. He's pretty cool.
What's a Wukong? Never heard of a Wukong.
Wukong is
the Monkey King Wukong.
The Monkey King. Yes, I have heard of.
Mythic Legion's done a Monkey King figure recently, and I think I spoke about that on one of our previous shows. That sold out instantly. That sold out in seconds. So yeah, maybe these guys might be the go-to if they do.
I am very impressed by them, mate. I do like the look of them. I think they look very, very cool. Guys in the comments are saying they look cool as well.
Come in so I can buy them.
Also, this is like just a toy line. They're not actually based on a show.
Not to my knowledge. Not based on anything else other than them being toys.
Sort of call back to the 80s then, isn't it? Like, that's kind of cool.
Phil's asking if we can get Cosmic Legions or these in the UK. I'm not sure, mate. I think you can get them probably on pre-order, but I've not seen these in shops, in toy shops and things like that.
No, I think these are up for on Big Bad Toys, which, like I've said repeatedly to people, that we don't really get import fees on those if it's under a certain value. Like we kind of, they're very good with their shipping to get away with that. So that's where I might order them from if I don't go AliExpress. It all depends who's got them, really.
Because Mythic Legions is like made to order as well, isn't it? Like they only make what is pre-ordered, and that's it.
Yeah. The beauty of Mythic Legions, though, especially with like Peter, like myself, is a Masters of the Universe fan. They're really into that sort of stuff. So they'll sell you a figure like this Karawas figure that I'm talking about, the Battle Cat one. The tiger head was an additional head. He originally came with an orc's head. So it would be an orc or an ogre that you were purchasing, but this additional head was inside, so you could make the character you want. And so they do that quite a lot. They've got like human figures that literally with a quick swap out of a head, it would be Skeletor or it would be He-Man. Like they're very clever with it.
So Aaron from Empire Toys, who I did This Is My with a little while ago, he was talking a lot about Mythic Legions. He's a big fan and he's got some stunning figures. Well worth checking out. Thank you very much, Luke. Just going to quickly jump off that now because I've managed to sort Ben's slides out. So Ben, you're going to do 2 in a row.
Here we go, guys. Get ready.
What in the holy shit is this?
Good evening and welcome to the Lego News with me, Trevor McLego. I am flirting with a bit of a rebrand here as well. You may have noticed my name, Attention-Seeking Break.
You have to pronounce it like that.
Brick is one of those challenging words, Ben. You're all right, mate.
I was still in Trevor McDonald mode. Brick. So yes, I'm not really changing anything, but I thought it was just a bit of fun anyway while I cover the Lego stuff here. So now's our time to shine, Andy. So this is the. He's a snipey tonight, isn't he?
Is he?
Meow. Okay, so this is the Insect collection, which is part of the Ideas range. So the Ideas range for Lego is essentially people make their own sets at home. Designers and just fans of Lego will make their own sets. They'll upload it to like an Ideas website, and then essentially people can kind of sign a petition to say that they would like that as an official Lego set. And then certain Lego sets will kind of be, made official, and they'll bring in the original designer and kind of collaborate with them to do this. The sort of key difference between the design and this one is that the Bumblebee and I think there's a Ladybird somewhere have been made small on this, whereas before they were kind of bigger pieces. So there was kind of the 5 pieces there, but each one's kind of the size of your hand, so they're real kind of they're big old bulky pieces, and something different, isn't it?
Is that £70 for the 3 of them together as a set?
Yeah, so it's 70 for the 3, which I think's not bad value for money if you're considering each one's kind of fits in a hand. A lot of pieces there. So yeah, that's coming up in September. So I think this appeals to people that might not even necessarily collect Lego as well, and they just kind of they want someone to do, and it's maybe a conversation starter in the hallway.
Conversation starter.
I don't know.
This is more like this is more like it, Ben. This looks interesting.
Yeah, interesting and an absolute beast. My first reaction when I saw this, so this is the Green Gots Wizarding Bank collector's edition. A lot of pieces there. You can see nearly 5,000 pieces. It's not badly priced, I don't think, for a piece this kind of scale and this size. 13 minifigures is a huge amount of minifigures as well. You're also getting that dragon as well, which is kind of could be a standalone piece by itself. But my first thing when I saw this, I was like, how the hell is that going to stand?
That's fallen over daily, isn't it? Daily, especially when you're a chunky chap like myself, and when you walk around the house shakes not because of the size of me, obviously. That's toppling, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm interested to see if that's like a new piece in the middle, like a pole or something, like how they've engineered
that's what I was thinking. It must be how you build around.
It does look impressive, but I would want that in some kind of, like the Rose in Beauty and the Beast, some kind of like dome glass case just to protect it, because it is.
I'd say Wicked Brick could probably sell a lot of the cases for this, so that people don't.
What about that? I know, Luke, you like Lego, Luke, don't you?
I kind of dip in and out of Lego. I go through stages where some days I'm like you, Peter, and I just can't stand the stuff. And then other times I absolutely love it. And it does depend on the set. So I think Phil's just mentioned about the Daily Bugle set. I too would love that. I've actually been eyeing that up on AliExpress as well. So if you don't mind going for like the fake Lego, you can purchase that for like £100 as opposed to £300 here.
See, I don't think
fake one is 100.
Yeah.
No,
Luke, what have you become? Can I just say?
As long as I've got it, I don't care, because I'm not keeping it as an investment. I know Andy collects it as investment pieces. Like even in the chat here, he's talking about the individual pieces that are made specifically for a set, and that's where the worth is. Yeah. But I'm a kid. I want to build it, and even after I've built this stuff, I hand it to my children to play with. Like they're playing with my Millennium Falcon right now. Like,
tell me that. Sacrilege.
It's okay. Like, what's the worst that they can do? Like,
smash it.
Smash it.
Smash it, and then you
That's right.
rebuild it. It's Lego, for fuck's
No.
sake.
It's 10 hours, so your time.
10 hours of your life gone.
Wait, I'll tell you what.
If
If you're spending 10 hours to build a Millennium Falcon, you're doing it wrong, because it doesn't take 10 hours. I done mine in about 2 hours. But yeah, it's got to be fun, right? The kids they can break it and go, "Oh, Daddy, I broke it. Sorry." You just fix it. It's Lego. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Andy is very much into the individual
Toys
people
are meant to be
sets
played
are
with.
unique to these sets. Buy multiple and hold. Yeah.
One to stock, one to rock.
Yeah. I'm still busting to get the Daily Bugle. Yeah, it does look interesting, that one. Andy's saying this one spins.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Christ.
Piece. Yeah.
Wow, that would be interesting.
It
JP
just looks so
wants
much
it.
fun with the little cart with Hagrid on going
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Right.
I haven't seen most Harry Potter. Wow, shiny. I thought everybody had seen Harry Potter.
Also, if you think this is cool, you'd like Harry Potter, then like just go watch it. They're good movies.
Yeah.
Held up.
Si, thank you very much, Si. I appreciate that, bud. Andy's eBay right now makes me cry. Harrison Ford broke his. Yeah, saw that on can't remember whose show that was. We've got promiscuous time traveler. Nice to see you. Does anybody know any cool dragon statues I can start collecting? I used to get Myth and Magic dragon statues, mate. I don't know if they're still a thing.
McFarlane's starting a new range of dragon figures. Yeah, like static.
You can get the 2 Game of Thrones ones, is it? Or the House Dragon, sorry. So
very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Okay.
Oh, it's back to
Simon.
me, finally. So, right at the top, we have the Black Series Jabba the Hutt, which I am very looking forward to.
You said that like you were a bingo caller. Do it again.
Jabba the Hutt.
Top corner or X11. It's Jabba the Hutt.
Peter Kay's like Phoenix Knights Jabba the
Hutt. Sorry, Simon. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. Carry on.
And now I've lost my face. On the right, we have Marvel Legends, which is a 2-pack, which is Hydra Trooper and Shield Agent Trooper, which so that's got announced. So that's the card. If you're like Marvel collector Legends, I think that's good for your Hydra, collectibles. I also put down. I showed these last time on the last show, but it was very blurry, so I put this image so we can all see it. So
thank you. All right, now name them all and nobody help them.
Kingpin.
Okay.
Nick Fury.
Good.
Gamora.
He's fucking reading it. I can see his eyelids.
Have you got it in front of you? Cheat. Have you got it in front of you?
Yelena.
Literally like this.
That's Goliath. Then Talos.
Now I know you're reading it. Now because you messed us up last time.
Well done. Well done, Simon. Well done. You wrote that down beautifully. Yeah, I agree, Phil. Faces on some of the new ones are shocking, mate. I have to say, for me personally, I don't know what you guys think, but that's, dare I say it, and Ben will get upset because I know you like the Kingpin. It's a bit of a dull line, that one. I love the Hydra agent and the Shield agent, but those Marvel Legends don't do anything for me in particular. Anybody hankering to buy those?
I collect the What If ones, so I'll get the Gamora and Goliath, but that's it for them from those sets. So
yeah.
I mean, it's incredible to me that out of the Secret Invasion show, which, let's be honest, in comparison to most MCU stuff, was dull, to say the least. But if you're gonna go for anything from that dull show, then you'd go for the Super Skrull, right? Like if you're making an action figure, it seems bizarre that you would just have civilian Talos. Like it's just so boring.
And not a scroll instead, like any scroll, as well.
Yeah.
The reason why they probably did it was to avoid spoilers, right? Because the toy manufacturer would take 2 to 3 years, and so all those leaks would have got out for.
Yeah, but then fucking Goliath, they just went and made like from What If,
No, he's from the last season of What If, but is he?
Is he?
No, we didn't. We never saw him.
No,
we
never saw that episode. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Was that not from the episode with the Gamora? I don't know. Do you know where? Because they pulled one episode, didn't they, of season 1?
No, he's got a whole episode to himself, as far as I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, she's from the Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's the one that pulled, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm with Fuzzy Mints. Not a fan of those. I do quite like the Hydra agent, and I like the different options with the head swaps for both of those. But yeah, not
head
ones.
sculpt's good.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much with Marvel Legends, if you buy the comic or animated figures, you can't go wrong. You know, that's always going to have longevity over time as well. It's the MCU ones. I think the faces are often hit or miss, and I think that over time, like you say, if a show fails, no one's buying those figures. Look at the Eternal figures that just sat there for months.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants them, and it is a bit of a shame. It's a shame that, you know, had those have been the comic book Eternals, I think people would have still bought them, even if the movie was bad.
Yeah. No, you're right, Luke.
Interesting. For the live action, as time goes on, the likenesses are getting better and better and better. Like, you can tell year after year.
Yeah, I suppose, mate. A bit of Star Wars 1/6 scale action for people. We've got the Sandtrooper Sergeant, loving that, and we've got is it a Dewback? I can't remember what it's called.
Dewback,
yeah.
Look, sir, droids.
I beg your pardon? What did you say? Okay. Yeah, these are very cool. I love the Stormtrooper. I mean, I've just picked up 2 Stormtroopers, so I'll not be getting that, but I do like the look of him. The Dewback thing is very cool, but it's pretty much a statue. Surely you can get an exclusive version which has got a closed mouth and a different leg stand. But I guess I don't know what you're expecting for a 1/6 scale creature like that. It's not going to have much articulation, is it? These are pretty sexy. I think the Stormtrooper in particular is really nice. I can see a lot of people wanting to pick that up. Thoughts, guys? Luke, you're about to say something.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question for both you and Ben, who primarily collect 1/6 and, you know, particularly Star Wars. If you're going to pay out this much for different... sorry,
James. James gets a bit of a lip on. James has got a very extensive collection. It's in my bedroom, but James has got a very extensive collection of 1/6 figures.
Oh, that'll be... Sorry, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So James as well. Sorry,
James hasn't.
So I'll put the question to everyone. All right.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to spend that sort of money on these figures, like, we all know how expensive these 1/6 scale figures are. Would you rather have individual Stormtroopers from different lines and different places, or would you rather buy one type of Stormtrooper and buy many of them to display with your Darth Vader or someone else?
Well, I've got 2 of your classic Stormtroopers, but that's because that's what it came as, a 2-pack, and because the flank Darth Vader very nicely.
But would you rather have like 12?
No, that's where I'll stop. I don't need 12 of the same figure. I'm not an army builder kind of collector.
But you would buy all the additional different types?
Probably not, to be honest. No. Only if it was a one that particularly appealed to us for whatever reason. I'm not I'm not that invested, because there's hundreds. I mean, Ben will clarify, there's all kinds of different troopers. You can just collect troopers, I think. There's that many different variations. I'm a bit of I like the classic. I like the original kind of clean white trooper myself. Ben,
more than 2 is unnecessary, I think, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Particularly at that price, I think. When you're getting more than 2 at that price, you're starting to.
So have you ever looked?
Because the flanking, like as you say, is perfect. Like either side.
Have you ever looked at some of the others and thought, "Oh, I'll swap those 2 out and replace them with a different set"?
I would guess, and again, Ben and James, you'll have to correct us. Sorry, and Simon, he's a Star Wars nerd. I like the is it the Crimson Guard?
Yes,
guys. I quite like the Crimson Guards. I'll consider getting some of them. Ben, what about you?
You kind of they're the Emperor's
Emperors,
right? So you'd need the Emperor, like
Game of the Throne then as well, wouldn't you?
You know, one thing leads to another. I cannot believe they've done this. Like, I know we had our stream during sort of Sideshow Con and all of the announcements and stuff, and I think, you know, famous last words on that stream, I was like, I absolutely love this. You know, it completely kind of takes you back to one of those opening scenes in A New Hope. So many kind of memories, and what a special piece, but they'll never do it. I think I pretty much said something like that, and literally the first thing they've done out of everything that we've seen over the last month or so is this release. So I love that they've done it, because for me, I want more creatures. I want more aliens. That's kind of what is the main selling point of Star Wars for me. So I love to see it. That being said, the real estate this takes up is unreal. And for me, that kind of at the moment is limited to this kind of tableau like lead characters. Then where the fuck do I put a do back there? Do you know what I mean? But the idea of putting these somewhere else and having covering my module case in like sand, to have like a sand all in there, and then having the do back and making it like a diorama piece could be really, really special. So I'm not pre-ordering anymore anything, but I'll definitely cast an eye on this when it comes out. I might wait a couple of months and see if it drops down, because oh gosh, mine's gone blank. The blurg has gone down considerably since its release. So this might do the same, or it might not, because it's original trilogy. I don't know. But the Sand Trooper I'd be very tempted by, because I don't have a Stormtrooper in any shape or form at the moment. So I'd love maybe the Sand Trooper, and then to get like the Hoth variation, and kind of have them either side of the module case could look cool. So yeah, very, very interesting.
I mean, I have to say that the Sand Trooper looks tremendous. It really does look very,
just the weathering and stuff like that. It's a little bit more interesting, than that kind of classic look. But the classic look is the classic look, So,
what about you, James? Is there something you would pick up? Sorry, Luke, I'm taking over your section. No, it's my section.
Your section.
Your section. You are.
I just asked a question. That's all.
James,
it's too big. Like, I just thought I don't know where to put the thing, and it's very. I know that's to me particularly. It's I think it's amazing to see, like, to look at it, but it's scene specific, and it's it's huge. So I have nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, as ever, the curse of 1/6 collectors is space, isn't it? So this thing, as Ben said, will take up a lot of real estate.
Just to go back to Fuzzy's comment about not understanding the army building craze. I love army building personally. I always have, even as a kid. But here, like, again, going back to my dioramas, like Badger diorama stuff, I've got like the foot soldiers with Raphael in his like disguise from the 1990s movie. And there's like 10 to 12 foot soldiers in there. Then I've got like NECA gremlins, and they're just everywhere. They're all over the place. And then I've got Planet of the Apes with the gorilla soldiers. I think if you can have a diorama set up, it really works with the army building. If you're just going to have them and just put them on multiple shelves and just fill your room with them, I kind of get that. But I think if you're setting a scene, it looks tremendous. And I'm actually looking forward to doing it with The Last Ronin for Turtles as well. I've already ordered some of the new foot soldiers that are on pre-order for that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, even with the figures you're talking about, Luke, when you're talking about Marvel Legends, say the one that we just showed from Simon's slide, the Hydra agents and stuff, when you're looking at the price of those figures, to army build can become quite a lot of money for what is in essence the same figure just repeatedly over. And it looks nice in the scene, but for me personally, that's not what I would certainly be doing with a figure that's 250, 300 quid.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend my money on something different.
It's the sacrifice of doing the high-end figures though, instead of the smaller scale, because that you're not going to be able to collect like that. So you collect in a different way because,
Yes. Good stuff. Moving on. James, back to you, mate.
Yes, Craig Mazin has talked about how many seasons The Last of Us show is going to run. He's previously said that part 2 would be 2 seasons, and now he's saying the whole show will be probably 4 or 5. So that indicates to me maybe there's another game in development, because like, what would you have the 4th and 5th season cover?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I
spin off about the giraffe.
I mean, I'd be there for it. See where it goes next. Yeah. He would know about it because he works so closely with Neil Druckmann, who would be leading the game development. So he'd be on the inside with that. But I really hope it's true. I really would love to see a 3rd game, and I think there's interesting places you could still go with the story.
It's interesting. It's interesting, James, because I remember when we were talking about this, because you were a little bit passionate about The Last of Us.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, and you were saying, they'll absolutely not, make more, they'll kind of end the story kind of thing because they won't want to milk it. Well, now there's a lot of money attached to this, and I would imagine they are absolutely looking at, you know, what more material can we make, bring to it, or whatever to keep the money rolling in, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to go on forever in the way that like The Walking Dead is kind of going on forever. You know, there'll be I'm sure there'll be spin-offs or you know, other stories in the universe, or they might just add a bit onto the end to do one more season and like have a, you know, a different ending. But
or do what they did with Walking Dead. You know, I mean, do what they did with Walking Dead. Keep your core story, but then you can have adventures and things that are in part of the universe, but haven't been part of the games and stuff, you know? Spin it out, I guess you could do.
Yeah, there's characters in the game that would support that. And I think characters in the show, you know, I would see a Bill and Frank, like little kind of six episode miniseries or something like that would be cool. Yeah, so we'll see. Anyway.
Good stuff.
And then, Insomniac, so these are developers of the Spider-Man games, and they're doing the Wolverine game. So they're working on another new game. Now, they haven't said what. It would presumably be the team that did Ratchet and Clank, because they have 3 teams. So one is doing Wolverine, one's doing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
could be another Marvel game. They were doing so well with Spider-Man, they got handed Wolverine, so I think that'd be really cool. You know, if it was another Marvel character they've been given access to. That's why I'd like to see. But it could be a new IP, and I'd love to see that as well. They're an amazing studio.
Excellent. When does Spider-Man come out?
Just over where it's out when we're in Liverpool.
Oh, right.
I have to wait all weekend.
Pudding party. Pudding party in the room.
Yes, pudding party. Pudding and PlayStation party, baby.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Oh! Ben.
You're just putting anything up here now, aren't you? Like,
it's a Concord, isn't it? 170 quid, just over 1,000 pieces. So not even that large, I would say. This is part of the Icon series, though, which is kind of like buildings and kind of. I think they've done like real spaceships and stuff like that. Like, so it's kind of things from that hold historical or kind of cultural relevance. So. Sorry, it's 2,000 pieces. Not. I was looking at the code, and rather than fucking wasting my time doing it. But yes, I don't really hold any opinion about this. It's not a piece that I particularly. I wouldn't say I'm an aviation, buff. So I'm kind of, no interest in this. I don't know about any of you guys into your vehicles.
As you know, I am an ex.
Yeah, you like planes. And
stuff. I love planes. This interests us. Not for that price, mind. I wouldn't be paying £170 for Lego. But yeah, it
How
does
much
look nice.
Optimus Prime.
I got it for 130, I think it was.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I got it for cheaper than it was in the Lego shop.
30 quid more, Peter. You can get a Concorde.
But this has real significant historical value. So I can see the attraction for these kind of things, these kind of pieces, particularly for, there are a lot of aviation enthusiasts out there who would be interested in picking up this kind of thing, I think. Anybody else on screen interested in this kind of thing?
I'm not interested in purchasing this particular piece, but Ben mentioned, like, did anyone buy any like vehicles or anything? In the past, I've bought the VW Lego camper van.
Oh, nice.
And I've also done the Mini Cooper. And they were fun builds to do, but once I built them, then that's it. I was done with them. I sold them on. But again, it was a lot cheaper back then as well. Like, I'm talking about 10 years ago that I purchased those, and they were nowhere near the prices of Lego nowadays.
This is going to do really well on like Father's Day.
Yeah.
People are going to buy their like dads and grandpas this, I think. Not saying Peter's a grandpa, but
why have you bought it for
him?
Yeah, it's a nice piece, Ben. It's not one I pick up. Just jumping to the comment. Andy's just congratulating JP, 8.9 thousand subs. JP, let's get you to 9,000. How many blowjobs are you giving for that, JP? I mean, it's incredible.
Did he not just hit 6 like 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Is he nearly on 10 already?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Good stuff, GP. Congrats. So yeah, interesting piece. Not one I'll be picking up, but yeah, I like it. Oh, Luke,
Fantastic.
what are these?
Yeah, I'm really excited for these. We all loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant
I've
Mayhem
not
movie,
fucking
right?
seen it yet.
No?
Shut your face.
No,
Okay.
me neither.
Well, without any spoilers, this is the second wave of action figures that they haven't released yet. And I'm just glad that we are getting more of these characters because it
Yeah,
felt like
absolutely.
we were a bit shortchanged. I know you have to get the turtles out first, but this is brilliant. Now, there was this article, and I know that James shared it with us privately during the week about the amount of money that they've actually grossed from retail. But surely these action figures can't be in that listing. That must just be all the NECA stuff and the Super 7 and everything that came before, because we're not finished the quarter yet. So I'm not sure if that actually tallies on and adds on. Either way, Turtle Mania is back. You know, people are loving Turtles. James has just jumped back onto it, which I'm really happy about. So proud to call him a friend.
That's all it took, James.
I'm just really looking forward to getting these mutant figures, you know, because now that we've got those core turtles, which I personally think are great, really good value for money. They're only like £11 each, which I think is
which
perfect,
any collectible nowadays
you know.
is fantastic.
The fact that a parent or a grandparent can literally go in and buy all 4 turtles for like 40 odd quid, I think is the right way to market and sell these toys. So yeah, bring it on, I say, and I hope that we get many more.
I'm just very happy that this movie is landed so well, and has kind of resulted in this turtle surge. You know, this resurge of interest. I think, because Ben, you need to get yourself to see it, mate. It's a phenomenal movie.
No,
it really
I
is.
told you, I'm not fucking going. I'll watch it when it comes out at home. It comes out in like.
Do you remember
3
earlier
weeks.
when we were talking about people who just sit at home and expect stuff to be delivered to them? Is that you?
I'm
now?
exactly that person. Yeah, I will get Red Dead for 50 quid because I'm not.
He's gonna watch the
oxygen with people
turtles
from CEX.
He's gonna watch the turtles while he builds his Concorde.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, with no fucking humanity around me. No, I mean this is it's killing me. It's really killing me that I've not been able to go and see this at the cinema. But I'm interested, Luke, because you and your wife repaint stuff and do a absolutely brilliant job. I can attest to that. Have you been tempted to get any of these and do a little repaint on them?
Yeah, so I've actually said to the missus, I'm actually keeping an eye on those turtles in the store. So if they get the numbers get too low and there's not many, I'll just go in and buy them at the price. But if they make it to clearance or go a little bit cheaper, which I don't know if they will, then I'll actually go in and grab a load just to do repaints. Because
what price are they now?
They're at £11 each, which isn't bad.
I was in B&M Bargains at the weekend, and they had Donatello and Raphael for $7.99, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
so if I can get them for under a tenner each, I'll snag them right away and do a repaint, because I feel like the animation style from the movie, they look like they're from the movie. Don't get me wrong, but these figures are very clean. You know,
plasticky
I want to add all that dirt and grime and like the action features.
You want the black lines, the bold lines, the scratches. And
so I'll definitely be doing that for the turtles, and I may very well do it for the additional characters.
Right, look at Wingnut, the fun you could have repainting that.
Yeah,
brilliant.
My only issue is they don't scale all together properly. Like Bebop and Rocksteady aren't.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem. When I spoke to Ben about them, that was my biggest problem. That I would much rather them be bigger. It is a shame because I've got them on the shelf, and it does look horrendous together in that when you're talking about scales.
But I guess that's why you're getting them at that price point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've got to cut some corners, I guess. Yeah, very cool.
I suppose,
but there might be light at the end of the tunnel because you can buy. So obviously that's the basic figure for £11. They do the turtles in a slightly bigger form. I don't know if there's a different articulation to them, but if they release Bebop and Rocksteady in that wave, you could then do mix and match.
Yeah, mix and match.
That might work out.
Very cool. Very cool. I like them. I like them a lot. I wasn't expecting to like these, but these look great. These are obviously from Star Wars or from anime, Simon, because they're on your slides.
Yeah, I know. No, It's
just unashamed, Peter. He doesn't give a fuck.
I know. And I don't care.
Howard Simon, crack on with these.
So I just put these on for a bit of fun, really, like just to see what you guys think. This is McFarlane, which is it's unusual for McFarlane to sort of delve into this, I suppose. So this is Jumanji, the movie, so with The Rock and Kevin Hart. So yeah, what does everyone thinks about these?
It's not unusual because it's part of a big range now that
Yeah.
Movie maniacs or movie
masterpieces. I think.
Masterpieces,
yeah.
These are more statues rather than look like movable.
Yeah, they don't look like action figures. They look more statues.
Yeah, there's no posability in them at all.
Sorry, that shouldn't be here at all. Then
it's weird because it's like there's the appeal, right? If you're doing a statue, then you make it high end, right? Because that's that's that market. So to make a small scale, cheap, not
looks
highly
very plastic,
detailed,
doesn't it?
yeah, like who's that appealing to? Because kids won't want it because you can't fucking do anything with it, and collectors won't want it because it's not nice.
Well,
So,
some collectors, they have 50
poor
quid.
ones maybe.
Well, I mean, sorry, Ben, Mr. Middle Class here. They do exist, Some collectors don't have 500 quid to spend on statues. So, all for it.
Neither do I.
I mean, we've got some interesting comments here that I can't disagree with. So, first off, Jack, Jesus, are you running out of things here, Simon?
No.
Fuzzy, these will be being them by Christmas. Absolutely agree, Fuzzy. These look, yeah. Also, the film was cack.
I stern disagree on that.
Oh, I do. I like that.
Pure Eagle Moss.
The film is very good. It just shouldn't have been a sequel to Jumanji. It could have been its own standalone film, in my opinion. Same premise, like
Jungle
it just didn't have
Adventure
to be
or something.
connected.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, but even down to I don't know if that's just because the image you've used, Simon, or what, but the font on the name plaques, is it just because some of them are brought closer to, or are they all out of size?
They just look all that size. It all looks different font, doesn't it?
See, look, the like text underneath it is matching on all four images. So.
Yeah.
But these non-articulated statues, this normally comes down to not having the right license. So someone else obviously already has or has paid for an action figure license for this scale. And so McFarlane have to then jump through a slightly different hoop to bring us these, which is why they're statues as opposed to figures.
But this
so
is
again, it's showing them what they can do. And then if that company then gives up those rights, or McFarlane buy the rights afterwards, they can then add articulation to them because they've already shown what they can do with the sculpts.
But again, this is my moan, I guess, about even 1/6 scale figures. How long ago was the last Jumanji movie? Was it 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, I'd say 3 years pushing on.
3 years.
3.
Who's looking for Jumanji toys now? Do you know what I mean? Or statues?
I love the franchise. So, like, if these were when I was back collecting random 1/6 scale figures and they came out in 1/6 scale, then I would be taking a serious look at them. I really would. I'm desperate for an Alan figure, like fresh from Jumanji with the the hat and beard.
That's exactly what I was about to say. We would be having a very different conversation right now if that's what this was. If this was an Alan Parrish figure straight from
Hunter.
The original movie. We'd snap these up whether they had articulation or not.
Relaxed.
Yeah, interesting. Not for me, I have to say. Not ones I'll be picking up, but nevertheless quite canny. We've got 18 people watching, so please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for everybody's channels. Much appreciated. I love this. I know most of you guys won't be interested in this, but this is again 3-0. They've been doing some very, very cool G.I. Joe figures. So we've had Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, there's a Cobra Commander out. This is Destro from G.I. Joe. I just love this. I think this is really cool. The price point on these for 1/6 scale figures is very cool. You normally get them for around about 130, 150 quid. I think that's certainly what I paid for my last few. He's a favorite character of mine. I had him in the old G.I. Joe figures. So I will definitely be picking this one up to go with my other G.I. Joe figures. I just love the costume, the mask, everything about it. Looks very, very cool. You guys aren't really big G.I. Joe fans, are you? Action Force fans, I don't think. Probably.
I used to be a fan of like the old UK comics for them.
Yeah.
And like I used to enjoy the toys, like the G.I. Joe toys.
Yeah.
But never really got into the animation stuff or indeed the live action movies. I know they've done some of those.
Yeah. And of course, we've got that big kind of hint. Well, not a hint even. It happened, didn't it, at the end of the Transformers movie, showing that was going to be a shared universe.
Yeah,
so we might be getting more of these in the future, more of these line.
Have
so
you
yeah,
got Snake Eyes?
Yeah, I've got Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Cobra Commander, Zartan, and
wow.
I've got a lot of them. So yeah,
The
very
thing
cool.
With this, there looks a lot of pleather situation there.
That's my concern, Ben. That's the only thing I was thinking.
But for the price, if it gives you a few years, happiness, then
I disagree. I think these figures should be permanent. I don't buy things that I think are going to degrade so heavily.
Nothing, everything fucking we degrade.
Yeah, it's very true.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Shut me up.
But you're right, Ben. The pleather is an issue that does worry.
Degrading as we speak.
Yeah, I'm sweating my tits off. Okay, back to you, James.
This is really interesting. So this is a new game they announced called The Walking Dead Destinies, and it's sort of like a what if thing where you can like change what it's season 1 to 4, and you can change what happens. So like say Shane doesn't die in season 2, or this character survived, and it's like I thought initially when I heard about it, it was like a Telltale style thing, but it's like actually a third person like kind of stealth adventure game. Really interesting concept, I think. Like, and I hope this does well, just to see like other franchises potentially do one, like a Game of Thrones or something like that. I think it's such a cool concept. I hope it sticks around.
I like the sound of that. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead still, so yeah, interesting one.
Yes. So this is one of the latest kind of Star Wars pieces. So this is the Coruscant Guard ship, so relatively sort of middle of the road, ship piece, similar to my sort of Falcon and X-wing and stuff like that, coming in at the sort of just over £100 mark, 1,000 pieces. You obviously get your Padme there, you get a Palpatine, pre-Emperor, and then you get a couple of Coruscant Guards. And go on.
Is this from the Zillow Beast episode?
Yeah, it's a deep cut.
Yeah,
it's
I thought that from the Padme outfit. I mean, a Lego Zillow Beast would be sick, wouldn't it? To see that.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Following, yeah.
Do you know what a Zillow Beast is? So
it's like a Star Wars version of Godzilla. It's from Clone Wars.
Okay.
So what I put on the side there is basically a lot of the releases for 2024 have kind of been leaked, basically, with sort of varying degrees of information, but I've kind of listed them on there. But some of the things to note: we're going to get a Grogu's Escape, so we're going to hopefully get the Kellerin back sort of Grogu 2-pack. I think that's probably what that will be. There's going to be an R2D2 piece coming out, Bunta Eve pod racing diorama, which I'm really excited about. I think that might work the same way as those ones where the X-wing kind of moves along and the scenery moves in the background. Maybe the way it said diorama, I think maybe that's the case. A droid car piece, which I think could be really cool. I think that would just look well in Lego as well. Other sort of things to note: Tantive for boarding. So that iconic scene where Vader comes on board and you got the rebels and stuff. So I think that could be really nice. A couple of brickheads, skeleton cruise ship. That's all they've said. So we don't know the name of that ship or anything, but that would be interesting to see. So some interesting stuff on the way next year for Star Wars.
And he's saying that a couple of the minifigures are unique to this particular set as well, Ben.
Yeah.
So Ben, I know you've done your video recently about coming out of 1/6 scale other than Star Wars. Are you going to be starting to lean more into Lego, do you think? Is this something you're going to be picking up?
No, it's weird, right? I started and finished my Lego collection in the space of 2 months. And that's not a bad thing. So I am so content with that setup. I've got Vader's TIE. I've got a TIE fighter. I've got the X-wing, and I've got the Millennium Falcon, and that's kind of all I would potentially need. I'm not really interested in, like, they've released that horrible Chewbacca piece recently.
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh, it's
What
hideous.
about? Have you got the Naboo fighter?
No, but like a lot of the other ships don't hold that same level of like nostalgia and stuff for me. And honestly, it's just space as well. And that is just such a sweet spot in the corner. There's literally nowhere else I could put a set on the wall or anything now. So for now, I'm really quite content. So yeah. It's a nice place to be, and I can just kind of appreciate everything else that comes back. Now, minifigures, and I know Andy is a fan of the minifig as well. That's another ball game, because they take no real estate, and you can generally pick them up fairly cheap if you get them at the right sort of time, and you can just kind of pop them in the drawer, and it's quite a fun thing to collect.
Yeah, good stuff. Luke.
Yeah, so I wanted to point out this Thundercats layer. Like it funded. We all saw it at Comic-Con, and we all questioned whether or not they would get up to that price. But again, going back to that turtle layer at like 300, this was 600, right? Now, when you work out that that's 300, half the cost of this is still far superior. Also, if you add on the fact that I said that the Turtles layer was 1 out of 3 pieces, again, price point completely. This is superior. I would love to own something like this. I think this would be amazing. For me, that's never going to happen. It's far too big. I would have to. I am that sort of completionist person. If I bought this, I'd have to buy all the figures that go with it and everything else. At the moment, I have Lion-O and Mumra as my 2 Thundercats representation in my collection, and I'm fine with that. Going for this would be a whole different rabbit hole. But yeah, I was really surprised how quick it funded. And again, going back to the like Mattel Creations thing and the HasLab stuff, sometimes it's hit or miss, and this was definitely a hit. People wanted this.
A lot of love still out there for Thundercats. I think they haven't really managed to tap into that franchise.
Yeah, there's still so much potential, and the Super 7 figures that I have, like I say, of Lion-O and Mumra, are superb. The Mumra figure is amazing. I've got him where he's just all cloaked. He's not the undying warrior. And then also, I just wanted to harken back to.
Sorry, Luke. Sorry, just before you jump onto the Turtles, Ben, were you going to say something there?
I was just going to say a really interesting thing about this Cat Slayer is that, unlike HasLab and stuff, when you commit to buy, they actually took your money straight away, rather than doing the thing of like, right, when we reach the goal, then we'll take your money. So that's how much people wanted it, is that they were willing to give up their money straight away, whether it was going to get made or not, like, and just have a refund if it wasn't. And I think that shows the passion of people that wanted this. And I just found that a really interesting element. And it might be a tactic that people replicate in the future, but this is unbelievable. And for you can't moan about what you get for your money, because it's like a whole collection's worth of.
I mean, I hate you all, because I really do wish you would stop talking about this frigging thing.
Wanted it.
Peter, you have nowhere to put this thing. Like, absolutely nowhere. I'm
going to take that out of
there.
I'm going to throw it out there. Do you need your Hulkbuster? Because if you got rid of your Hulkbuster, you could get this and the set of Ultimates, Thundercats, and.
True.
Do you know what? I'm going to throw a spanner in the works, and he'll definitely tell me to fuck off when I say this. But with my using my Castle Grayskull as an example, I've got 2 vintage Castle Grayskulls that, again, me and my wife have repainted to be more realistic, I guess you would say. But I have 2 of them because I like the outside and I like the inside. And this is the problem that I have with spending this amount of money, because where would you put it, and what way round would you have it? Because you could have all the figures standing around it on the outside, or you could have it on the inside. So, Peter, you got to buy 2.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I'm saying don't. Ben saying get 1.
Dude, 100%.
Luke saying buy 2. Simon, do you want to interject? What do you think? You'll be the decision maker here.
I'm saying don't. It's
Done.
gone.
There you go.
Oh, boo! Shut up, Simon.
I'm changing my
Yeah.
mind. I say get one. So that's 2 for get one.
Fuzzy's made a great point because I noticed this the other day, Fuzzy. I think Super 7 put some images up. And you're right, the Thunder tank they've just done recently doesn't scale with it, which makes no sense to me at all. I can't understand why they've done that. Because it looks daft when you park it in front.
Does that mean
It would then be a £2,000 piece if you wanted it. You know, I think you kind of got to pick one. You got to pick one with that.
I think if any of us were going to buy it, Peter, it would be you.
Yeah. Think of the
Moving
content,
on.
Peter.
Let's move on.
So yeah, the other thing was just about going back to turtles again. You know, it's not stopping. You know, you can even go to Build-A-Bear workshop and make yourself these turtles. You know, and this is just. It's not that I care about these. It's just that I wanted to show you that Turtle Mania is back. Like it's just like it was back in the 80s. People are going nuts for it. My kids are talking about it. It's really nice seeing this stuff back in the toy aisle.
It's nice not being annoyed at how often you bring up turtles now, I have to say. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it now.
Wait till I do my next room tour because the entire wall is dedicated to turtles now.
Awesome.
Nice.
You're right. Fuzzy, you're not wrong, mate. As ever, you're the voice of reason, Fuzzy. You're right. I should buy
Exactly, Fuzzy. Here.
Yeah. Andy is banned from Build-A-Bear. True story.
Oh, what did you stuff it with?
I can only imagine, Andy. I can only imagine. Simon. These look very
more Star Wars and anime.
More Star Wars and anime. These look cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Todd McFarlane's DC multiverse. We only saw obviously. I put. I really love this Batman. It's like glow in the dark and everything. So this is the multiverse Batman Earth 22. In Infected Batman, it's called. And it glows in the dark. So that, like, actually, out of all the Batman McFarlane does, this one really takes my eye, I think. So
I like
really nice.
Yeah,
because Green Lantern's stunning.
Green Lantern's a vampire in the end. It wasn't a zombie; it was a vampire. So that Green Lantern looks amazing. So I put both of these on. Just they just put it out the bag, McFarlane, don't they? The articulation on these things are so awesome, I think, compared to Hasbro, and they're cheaper. So
yeah, I have to say, if I ever stepped away from 1/6, it would probably be some of the McFarlane figures I would pick up because I do think they look very, very cool.
And I just want to point out, I also I got recently because I wanted to do like a little unboxing of my Spider-Verse. So I got the Spot and Gwen.
Yeah.
One thing that does annoy me that Hasbro don't do for the amount of money that you pay, that McFarlane do, is you don't get a stand for the foot stand to keep them standing upright. So
what? The stand for the foot stand?
So in all McFarlane toys, you get like a round disc with the pegs to peg.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
A stand. Yeah. A simple thing like that.
Yeah, it's a little black thing.
Yeah, and you don't.
I usually have one handy, actually.
Yeah.
But Simon, what you do, right, is this is what I've done for my Spot figure, because now that you've purchased one, you get those little round discs from McFarlane's and you create spots around your Spot figure. It works perfectly.
Okay.
So then you can have the portals all around them.
Then I have to buy a McFarlane figure just to get the stand. I'm on about the amount you spend on Hasbro, and they can't be bothered to make a simple disc stand.
Yeah. These look cool. I do like the Green Lantern one in particular. I think it looks very cool. Okay. More Star Wars action for the 1/6 scale collectors. This is Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian. I think this head sculpt is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Rolling eyeballs in it. You've got the option of the helmeted version. I think this would be, if you was to pick this one up, and I don't know if this is on your list, Ben, this would be one of those figures where I would probably consider having him holding the helmet just so you can enjoy that head sculpt, I think.
So I'm going to do a Fennec.
Yeah.
There's a great promo shot of him doing that, holding it, and it looks fantastic, to be fair.
Yeah, I just think it's amazing. Again, the effect pieces, not keen on the staff kind of glowing purpley bits, not fan of those. Flamethrower, I think, looks pretty cool, mind. But I don't think I would have him displayed with any weapons and stuff like that. I would just have him standing holding the helmet, I think, probably. Pretty cool. Anybody thinking of picking this one up? James, start with you. Is this on your list?
I'm on the fence because I'm building sort of a Mando Star Wars Hot Toys collection, and I do
Get
love
off that
this
fence,
this
bitch.
costume. So yeah, I have a couple of the characters I'll probably go for first. But I love the look of it. Really, I do. Yeah, it's a nice piece. So we'll see.
Yeah.
This is it's a good chance I will get this.
It's just such a clean armor look as well. Isn't it? It does look
Yeah.
very, very cool. Ben, what about yourself?
Value for money, right? You display it with the helmet. You take that head sculpt, you put it on a 1/6 scale body, little yellow shirt, black tie, some slacks, and some glasses, and you got yourself a Gus Fring as well as a Moff Gideon. Take my money.
But Ben, where are you
I
putting
don't, I don't even
Where are
fucking
you
play.
putting that?
Breaking Bad one.
You mentioned a figure earlier you wanted, and I was like, well, that's not Star Wars.
No, it's definitely on the cards for the Star Wars collection, just because I do feel like he's kind of getting there in terms of kind of iconic villains, and I think we're going to look back with a lot of fondness to this performance from Giancarlo. So, and I, having met Giancarlo recently, it would kind of hold a bit of sentimental value, kind of having a 1/6 scale version of him in my collection. So, I'm definitely going to be looking at this in a year or so when it drops.
Yeah, I think this is
no pre-order though.
Yeah,
honey.
But you've said to me, you've taught me well, my master, that with Hot Toys you don't need to pre-order, really, do you? Some of the third party you do, but Hot Toys you're normally going to be able to pick them up.
I don't think so. Even the guy that we buy from, right, Toys on Fire, every time a figure drops, he's offering it as new,
10 or 15 of them,
despite the pre-orders, so it's like, well,
yeah. Pad Bear just picked up the Hot Toys Bo-Katan, very nice. So I may have to hide some money from the wife for this figure to go with her. Absolutely, yeah. That would be a very cool setup.
I want a bow. Shit, I want a bow.
Very cool. James, we're back to you, mate.
A few games that released over the last couple of weeks. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a game, very similar to the Friday the 13th game that came out a couple of years ago. So it's like a multiplayer. One of you plays Leatherface and the other plays Survivors. Sort of split opinions on it because like IGN here gave it a 6, but GameSpot gave it a 9. And from what I've seen of it, it looks pretty good. So I might give this one a go. I've never been a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, but an interesting multiplayer setup I enjoy. And I think the aesthetic works really well for a game. So yeah, I might give that a go.
This will be one that I play when I get a console. Like I'll go back on myself and pick up this in the Friday the 13th game.
James,
yeah.
So I actually played the Freddy one. So is that the sort of same with the 4? You have players like 4 team against Freddy.
So that's Dead by Daylight you played, is it?
No. There's an actual Freddy one.
The Friday the 13th game.
Friday, Jason. Yeah, Friday. Yeah. It's the same kind of setup, pretty much same type of gameplay.
Okay. Cool.
Pick a victim or pick a killer and.
Yeah, basically.
It's those games. Yeah, so good.
Been hearing great things about Baldur's Gate, mind, James.
So have I, and for me, it just kind of came out of nowhere as well. But everybody's shining on about it, and it's a Dungeons and Dragons franchise, isn't it? Like
D&D,
yeah. I was only just looked at gameplay today because I just heard like just 10 out of 10 everywhere. It's the highest review game of the year so far.
Yeah.
Don't like the look of it, to be honest. Yeah, I did.
Baldur's Gate, an old franchise, but isn't it?
The first one goes back to the early 2000s, I think, maybe late 90s. But it's like a for real, not real time. What's the word? Turn-based combat and sort of isometric. You're moving the camera over constantly. It's like, it's not the type of game I like to play.
I don't want to fucking wait my turn. I'm playing a game so that I can have fun.
Yeah, Pokemon's the only one I can tolerate that for. So not for me, unfortunately. But like people seem to be loving it.
But you do have boobs and willies in it. So
there is boobs and willies.
The point for me.
I've actually
I've seen.
I've been playing this and there's a lot of character customization in it, so it is amazing. So
you can make the boobs and willies bigger or smaller, can you say?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Good.
The only thing that confused me, James, that they've actually re-released this game. I got the beta version. So the beta version came out way back in 2021, 2 years ago. So it's been out a long time. So this is the actual official release of the game.
Launched,
and it still had bugs and other problems with it still.
Yeah. Well,
Do you
I take a big
research
scope
games,
on
James?
it, so.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't. I mean, I gave you every bit of information on this game.
Schooled.
So, yeah.
Schooled by
Thanks,
Simon.
thanks, Simon. I'm
Embarrassed.
glad you're here.
10 out of 10, ladies and gents, but Simon's found some issues with the game. Moving on.
So this will get Andy very excited. This is the new batch of the new wave of Marvel minifigures. So these are the minifigures that you can just pick up in a shop. So they're the random sort of packaged figures. Now the kind of controversy with this is that they've decided to go from the bags, which of course everyone felt, and you could kind of feel which one was inside, so you could get the one that you wanted. They are now a box.
Well, they used to have a different code on as well. So not for so much the Lego figures, but I remember back in the day looking up the different codes, and it'd be 1 digit out for each character. Now you wouldn't necessarily know which character you were getting, but if you went to the shop and just made sure you had all different, you would end up with all different characters.
So
apparently,
sorry,
people
Ben,
have tried that technique already, and it's not working because they're just random.
So sorry, Ben, I understand these are blind boxes, yeah?
Yeah, so these are blind boxes. So obviously you got Moon Knight, you got both of the Hawkeyes, you got Echo in her new outfit by the looks of things, which we've not even seen yet. We've got Wolverine, Beast from the 97 series, and Storm. Yeah, in between Moon Knight and Hawkeye, just behind Wolverine.
Shang-Chi.
It's a female. Firstly, Simon, I can't believe you would put Lego minifigures into one pot there, Simon. Unbelievable. She-Hulk, Mr. Knight and Moon Knight. Sorry, Agatha. Then you've got the Goliath figure from What If, and probably my favorite, I think, in the whole series is this Werewolf by Night minifigure.
Yeah.
So much fun, and also just like so exciting that we're getting official merch from Werewolf by Night. I know we've got pops and stuff, but like,
just jumped into my head how much I want a 1/6 of. Oh my god, that looked good, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, mate, a 1/6 scale fucking man thing. I would.
You wouldn't be able to buy. You wouldn't be able to buy. Then you're gonna regret.
You literally did a video about this. You said you're sticking to Star Wars.
Ben, you seem a little conflicted lately. I don't know what the story is.
Anyway,
which one did we get? The owl with Hawkeye from? Is that the little owl from the end of the Hawkeye series?
Yeah,
that's tremendous. I love it.
Yeah.
I have to say, out of all of those, I'm loving the Werewolf by Night. But the one that jumps straight out is the Blue Beast. I absolutely love that. That is amazing.
I think I'm tempted to get the Wolverine, Beast, and Storm and try and build up a little 97 Lego minifigure team, to be honest. Even if I went and picked up, your unofficial custom pieces or whatever. But what I put on this slide is actually the weight of the boxes, because that's what people have been doing. Is they've been taking in little fucking weights to weigh the boxes so they know which one is inside. But yeah, these are officially released on the 1st of September, but apparently they've started popping up in Asda.
Chris Bells was saying he's got Wolverine and Agatha today.
Ah, bastard. I literally went to Halifax, Asda.
Excuse me, Ben, you're on my channel. Protect my guests.
And
Chris, he didn't mean that.
It's a sign of affection, Chris. I love you. We went 10 minutes out of our way to a superstore, Asda. Specifically, I was like, no, we'll go to the superstore in Halifax, and they bloody didn't have them. They barely have food.
Loving this from Padbear. Lego bastards take all the fun out of collecting. Nothing better than fingering Lego bags in a supermarket.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a collector's dream. So I'm not into Lego, as you may know. I have enjoyed your sections tonight, Ben, I have to say.
Thank you so much, Ben. That's very kind to say.
It's all right.
I do have to say, these appeal because you can get your characters represented for pretty cheap. And like you say, they don't take any real estate, do they?
Yep.
No.
Every time I go to a market or a car boot mind, there's always hundreds of these kind of knockoff versions of these, I'm presuming. Hundreds
Which
of
are
different
kind of great because they can get the characters that you're not able to get or whatever. And like, yeah.
Chris is saying local Tesco has them as well.
Okay.
Andy, can we do a swap shop at Thought Bubble? Yeah, Andy, that would work well with the stickers made. We've got Chris here. Nice to see you, Chris. Thank you very much. And 10-minute detour. You mentalist.
So it weren't me driving. Fuzzy.
Okay, yeah, these
I did
look
have
cool.
a 3-year-old next to me, so it was very inconvenient. To be fair,
Was she driving? Was she?
we got her some little princess blind bags, so she got her shit.
Oh, is that how it is?
Yeah. Moving on. Luke.
Yeah, so this is your public service announcement. You know, this is something that I used to do quite often on my channel. This is something that happens twice a year, every February and August. And it's basically the Great Toy Aisle Reset. And it's basically the perfect day to go shopping. Now, it's different in every store. So you'd never quite work out exactly when it was going to be. But it's basically when they switch everything around. It's when you can basically find everything that you've missed out on before or held off on going to clearance while new stuff is coming in. So you can load up your trolley with all sorts of amazing things. So like I say, it happens in February and August, and it's basically just them clearing stock for summer and Christmas. That's literally all it is.
Yeah.
But most toy stores, or every toy store, actually does this. And you can notice when it's about to happen. You can walk through, particularly in Smith's or Toys R Us back in the day, you can walk around and you'll see they'll stick like a piece of paper on the shelving to say what's going to be there next. So you'll be in the Power Ranger section and it might say Masters of the Universe. And so you know that then they're going to start moving stuff around. So that's when you start just going down there as often as you can. I personally go daily because it's just down the road. I do, and I come out with absolute bargains because you get all this stuff on clearance before everyone else. And this is where I get my repaint stuff from. You know, I can buy the figures on the cheap, repaint them, choose to keep them myself or sell them on as customs. But it is basically the best shopping experience you'll have because you'll get the newest stuff as well as the stuff that you held off on.
The stock clearing, basically clearing the aisles and putting the new stuff out. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, I think. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong slides.
Ooh, very nice.
Oh, is it? This might actually be something you're meant to talk about.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's a video game. It's not anime.
Technically, it is anime, James. So.
Well, technically, it's not a game.
Yeah, it is anime. There is an anime.
How's it anime?
Come on now, girls.
There is an anime.
Yeah, there is.
Is it based on the anime or the game?
No, both.
How do you know?
Because I've been watching it. Jesus.
Go on, continue.
Argumentative tonight. SH Fig Arts. So I'll go through these. This is Near Automata, which James should know about the game. It's a game, and they have now made into an anime. So this is B2 and S9.
2B.
2B, sorry. Okay.
2B, yeah.
Okay. To be.
Nearly had it. Simon,
Nearly had it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, James. Anyway, so anime figures for anyone who's fancies them. So go watch the anime. It is really good. I'm enjoying it. So it's on Crunchyroll now. Crunchyroll. Yeah. Price points, guys. So what are you thinking?
They're expensive, aren't they? SH Figure Arts.
They are coming down in price, I've noticed. So this is for the one figure alone, obviously, is £65.
Oh,
that's very good for that's very good for SH.
Yeah. So
she's skinny as shit, though. So you know.
Yeah, she's skinny.
Do they come with stands, Simon?
I don't know if they come. Usually they do. Yes. So she's got like this little robot with her that you have in the anime and the games. So like and a stand. So yeah, they are better than Hasbro. So worth it.
Looks cool. I like it.
Then you've got Jujutsu Kaisen, and you've got the high school version of I can't remember his name now. Suguru.
You could make it up, and none of us would.
Suguru is the so anyway, it's Jujutsu Kaisen, and yeah, they're about £65 as well. So this anime has just been on at the moment. It's huge on Crunchyroll, so a lot of anime fans would really like them.
What's it called?
Jujutsu Kaisen, I think. Kaisen.
Not heard of that one.
Yeah.
That Bruce Lee's stunning, mind, Simon. I'm liking that.
Yeah. So the Bruce Lee, I think, same SH Fig Arts.
Okay.
Yeah, all SH Fig Arts they are. They do a lot of movie versions as well. So not just they don't just do anime. So, and then up at the top you've got Mecha Freezer. which is another Dragon Ball Z line. Now, this is a bit more expensive, but that's what I don't get. They know one they can charge. So I think it's like £80 for Mecha Frieza, which is a tinier toy compared to the other two figures. But they know they can sell it because it's Dragon Ball Z.
Bit of license when it Dragon Ball's probably a more expensive license because it's more popular and stuff like that.
Exactly that.
What is the I don't know if you know, Sarah, but what does the Bruce Lee go for?
I don't know, but I would say it would be it's a lot higher price. I think it would be like the £80-90 mark. So.
I think I saw like 85 somewhere. I think
we've come down from the £120 mark. So SH Figure Arts are coming down, and you can see them a lot cheaper now on eBay and other things. So, yeah.
Might be tempted by that. Quite like that one. Quite like that. Okay, moving on. I just wanted to mention this. This is the Iron Man Mark III gold color version, 1/4 scale action figure. Quite like the look of this because it comes with its own little presentation case to hold it in.
Case is very cool.
It's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, I'm not a big fan of the design, the old gold. I prefer classic red and gold myself. But I ain't got any 1/4 scales. That's a line I've not gone down yet. And I liked the idea of this one coming with that little display.
Where are you going to put them?
Peter, you don't want this.
Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I absolutely don't want this. I absolutely don't want this. No. I thought it was an interesting thing that they've added the display case. It's another bloody Iron Man, isn't it? But like I said,
love gold.
I like gold. Yeah, so interesting, but not a one I'll be picking up. Any of you guys interested in this? Can't imagine any of you guys want to pick it up.
I hope.
No. I don't know how much the 1/4 scale figures go for. To be honest, I didn't look at the price.
It's very random. They dropped the pictures and then the blogger pictures came out about 3 days after. So it's actually out now. Over there anyway.
But yeah, interesting. And that's whack, guys. We've managed to get through the show without coming to blows. We've got 22 people watching. Thank you very much, everybody. Please do go and check out everybody's YouTube channels. We've got some incredible content. We'll quickly go around, see what people have got coming up. Just before we do that, Metal Tat, thank you, Fuzzy. Fuzzy, we should get you on the show just to give your concise reviews. But you're right, mate. I can't disagree. James T. Keegan, what have you got coming up on your channel, mate?
I'm not working on anything particularly at the moment, but I have an idea for a turtle-based video that I might be doing coming up. So hopefully, I might get around to that.
Okay, very cool, very cool. You're into your turtles at the moment, so that'll be interesting.
I know, Turtle Mania, man.
All aboard the bandwagon, man.
Yeah, good stuff. Benjamin, what about yourself, sir?
So
I've got a slide for you in a bit, I think. But
yeah, hopefully tomorrow I will be getting a delivery from Ministry of Masks, which I'm very excited about. So the last piece that I had from them was a Bane mask, and it was really, really stunning. So I'm looking forward to getting that. So hopefully that arrives tomorrow, and I can get a video put together in a day or so and get that out. And that will keep you warm up until Friday, where I'm going to be having a live show, and it's the return of Intro Nale. And the Intro Nale will, of course, be for Ahsoka. So we're going to be breaking down the 2-episode drop that the Americans are getting before us, technically. We're going to be asleep when it drops. 2 a.m. it's dropping for us.
Well, I mean, James for Last of Us, he's a proper fan. He stayed up and watched it, didn't you, James? When it aired?
He's a proper fan without a wife or a child. Proper fan. But yeah, so I cannot tell you how excited I am for that show. So
you're going to have to be tight-lipped in our group chat, but because I'm at the cinema, I'm doing a double bill on Wednesday, so I'll not get to watch it till Thursday probably. So no spoilers. Yeah, but looking forward to that. Good stuff. And also, Ben, you've had a video out yesterday. I don't know if you want to mention that.
Yeah, so that was just, it was a bit of a kind of impromptu video. I kind of made quite a big decision for my collecting and to kind of change my collecting habits moving forward, basically. So it's just a video kind of explaining that and giving a bit of an update. Ironically, about a week after I did a collection tour video, everything's changed. But yeah, so I just wanted to be transparent. And, I think a lot of people kind of make decisions like that and, feel guilty or feel like they're the only one who's doing that, or sometimes feel shame because of the way that people sort of talk on streams and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of just put a little piece to camera, and hopefully people can kind of relate a little bit.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Luke, what about yourself, sir?
Yeah, so I released a video today, another Marvel Legends video. So I've got a couple of those kicking around at the moment. But also more recently, like last week, I released some videos about physical media. And that's something that I want to touch a lot more on. I want to try and dive down that rabbit hole a little bit more with the channel. So it's going to be comics, toys, and now physical media.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it. I just realized that I own a lot of like VHS tapes, DVDs, Blu-rays, all stuff that we just don't talk about. So I figured I'd go down that route also.
Good stuff. Interesting. Very interesting. Simon, anything coming up on your channel?
I don't know. We're on GPs tomorrow.
What the fuck was that? What was that? We can't move past that. What
Did
was
I
that?
mention that?
No, I think Simon just went. Blah, blah, blah. What was that?
There's your clip.
So yeah, well, so you're right, Simon. So nothing coming up on your channel per se, but
No.
tomorrow night we have got this over on GP Venom's channel, and we're going to be talking GLA versus Avengers, 8 o'clock over on GP Venom's channel. So that should be fun. And then, as Ben's mentioned, Friday we've got Ahsoka Intonari. Ben, is at 8 o'clock Friday?
She's just looking at me so lovingly there, and it's just so.
Yeah, her eyes are pointing at James T. To be honest,
I'm not so
honest,
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will be at 8 p.m. I've just decided.
Good stuff. 8 p.m. Marvelous. And then on Saturday, we're back on my channel for our Saturday Night Live. I haven't got a topic or a theme for that one, so if anybody's got any ideas, chuck us a message on Instagram and we'll add something to the end of that. But we've got a lot to catch up on, lots of news, lots of movie reviews and things like that. So that'll be Saturday night at 9 o'clock. And then next Monday, looking forward to this. Next Monday, we have got our top 3 cinematic Marvel Universe Phase 2 scenes. So myself, Ben, Efren, and James are going to be looking at our favourite 3 scenes and our worst scenes in Marvel Phase 2. And it's been very interesting. I have to say, you guys obviously haven't seen the picks,
I forgot
choices.
we were even doing this. Yeah.
But we've got some very interesting choices coming. So I'm looking forward to that one. That should be fun. Okay, that's your whack. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. We've had tons of people in the chat tonight. 20 odd people watching at one point, which is fantastic for my khaki little channel. So I do appreciate that. And please do support my colleagues on screen, James C. Keegan, Attention Seeking Geek, Hydra Collectibles, and Comic Lad Simon. Pop over to their channels and give them a sub, please. It would be much. What in the shit is that? Oh, it's Spider-Man. I thought that was just some kind of snot.
I thought it was anal beads.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time you showed them. Yeah. So with that, we'll call it a night. Thank you so much to my panel. You guys are always fantastic. And thank you to everybody that's been in the chat. And with that, we'll catch you next time. Bye.